Okay, everybody, we're here back with a third version, yet a third version of the whole canard concept. This one is the most challenging of the three that I've done. What I did was I took my biplane, conventional biplane with a tractor prop and with rear foreplane and a rear elevator, and I converted it. That biplane, I took it and I used the canard foreplane that I had and I converted it to this basically canard biplane. And I found, those of you who have been following the last canard that I did, I had two dowels, 3/8 inch dowels going from the tip of the canard to the under portion of the rear wing to mount the canard to the rear wing. And that was very advantageous, as it let me put the engine right here in front of this servo, and a mid-mount engine, of course, will mean easier balancing. But in this case, the problem was that those 3/8 inch dowels were great for mounting the canard and having a lightweight thing going on, but the problem was that on a landing, if it was a hard landing, they would just snap very easily. I wanted something that had a little flex to it, so I went back to having foam in the center. Having foam at the tips, at each tip of the canard leading to the rear wing, would have been just too much foam. So I went back to having the foam at the center, and the engine is a pusher, you can see right there, and still have one servo running the ailerons, and of course one servo running the elevator on the canard. Of course, now that the engine is way far back, mounted in the rear, the battery has to be mounted way in the front. I had just enough reach so that the battery could be plugged into the ESC. It wasn't a problem. This guy flew really, really well once airborne, because of, the biplane has a lot of added wing area, and it only needed, half throttle to fly quite nicely. Could climb at half throttle. Interesting thing was, though, at launch, because it's got all this freaking drag on it, and of course the wake from the canard interfering with the lift on the rear wings, even more so at slow speed, launching required full power. I mean, there was just no way around it. And it was interesting how once it got up there, it needed much, much less power. Half power, it was still climbing. I'd probably keep it level at, a little lower than half power, no problem. Yeah, the previous biplane that I did, where, there was no structure basically in front of the main wing, it didn't need like tons of power for takeoff, but over here, because of all this massive amount of structure in front of the rear wing, disturbing its lift at the launch, it seems to require a lot more power for takeoff, full power. For the foam here, for the fuselage, instead of mounting everything inside and making a hollow fuselage and having to try to make it be solid enough